so normal to be sad. Oh, it's normal. Cool. Do you know what we'll do? We'll wallow in our own depression and self misery so much that actually we're going to find and blame someone else. Oh, it's the Matrix. Oh, it's my boss. Oh, it's the way I was brought up as a kid. Fuck you. Your life's shit because you're shit and you're happy with it. You've just accepted it, right? This is why people are like, right, well, I have this really hard decision to make, and my girlfriend, I know that my girlfriend's not the right one for me, but I'm just going to stay in the relationship because maybe if I change, then maybe I can change. It's all fucking nonsense. It's nonsense. Okay, cool. It's not right. Cool. Move on. Done. Finished. Move on. Like, people just want to be sad. People want to be depressed because that's their whole identity.
Michael,
Anwar, how are you, brother?
I'm going to start this conversation in a way that I don't usually start off, but I enjoy starting it this way. So, what do you do, and why do you do what you do?
Expose scammers on Twitter. What else do I do? Bunch of stuff, really. So my main thing is sales. So I'm now a sales coach, a business consultant. I don't like the word coach because that just kind of implies that you're scamming people, which isn't great. But that's my main thing. Have a couple of businesses as well, all online. Set that up that way, obviously, because that way you can just work from anywhere, but living in sunny Spain. So get to work from anywhere, not work in a 6x4 cubicle, which is obviously good. And why do I do it? Because what's the other option, really? I don't think it's either do stuff or don't. And the people who don't do stuff, they end up relying on the government and their government-paid pensions, which, let's face it, don't ever end up actually giving or existing, and let alone existing in the next 20, 30 years. It's just, there's no point, right? You have to go out, build it for yourself, and that's pretty much what I've decided to do.
Speaking of exposing scammers on Twitter, there was a recent drama, if I should say, between you and Hassan, better known as Mr. Can't Get Laid.
Yeah, beautiful.
Where did that start, and what was that about for whoever was not aware of it?
Yeah, so there's this guy on Twitter who runs around and he's just like, well, I got 6 cars. Listen to me. And it's just like, well, all right, bro. Like, what have you done? Right? Just one of these normal guys that's just like trying to flex on everyone. It's just like, well, I got 6 supercars now. Okay, how did you get the cars? Well, it turns out by scamming people, which is ironic. But when it comes down to sort of how it started, I made a post, actually. I think I made a tweet about me just blocking him because all of his shit kept on coming up on my timeline. And I'm very conscious of what I allow into my brain. So I'm like, yeah, do you know what? Fuck this guy. This guy's just obviously just full of crap, has obviously just made his money from, selling shit online. And by shit online, I mean his own courses. Which is funny because, you get all of these sales guys and experts that come out and they're like, well, look at me, I'm a sales expert. Okay, what have you sold? My own course on how to sell. It's like, bro, no, it's like, that's not how it works. So I then got flooded with DMs about him being a scammer. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, let me just look into this guy a little bit. One of his, I won't say who, but one of his like inner circle members sent me a message, and he's just like, "Hey, bro, I see that you've posted about Hassan. Have you seen this video?" It was just like he calls it a joke or whatever, but it's him in some kind of car. I can't remember what it is, but like a Lamborghini or something. and he's driving around in Dubai trying to pick up this woman, and this woman's there. She's like 40 or 50, and she completely just destroys the guy. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get your number," and she's just like, "No, you can't buy me with cars." And then he's just like, "Well, what was it? I'm not trying to buy you with cars. I'm trying to buy you with love." And it was just the cringiest thing I've seen this year, and I've seen a lot of cringy shit. So I posted that just to sort of gauge what his reaction would be, because obviously a normal scammer's gonna like react to it. Of course he did, and then I just basically said, "Okay, this is worn out." So got tons and tons. I think altogether it's something like 70 or so plus DMs, because there's a lot of stuff that I just haven't publicized because there's just too much. So then I decided, fuck it, I'll do a video on the guy. Which I did, and it went pretty viral, which is good because I don't want people buying scams online, and especially impressionable young kids, 13, 14, 15. And so yeah, that stopped at least 20 or 30 people who have DM'd me saying, "Thanks, man, thanks so much for the video." Was gonna pay him like 3,000, 4,000, 6,000. Even the people in his group, they were like, "Man, I can't believe that he did all of that shit." And yeah, so very impactful. It was good because that was the whole point of it. And a lot of people were like, "Well, Michael's doing this to sell his own stuff." And I'm like, "Well, actually, no, because I haven't even posted about any of my stuff. So no, not at all. I'm doing this just to expose the living piece of shit that he is." So it was a great piece of drama, I guess you could call it. And yeah, worth the very small amount of time that I put on it, because it only took me, I'd say, around 2 to 3 hours in total, including making the video, editing the video, etc. So yeah, it's ended up being a very good thing.
It's interesting when I was seeing that whole thing going on. It's kind of how we first connected, because I have a story with New Money. I was in Hassan's group. Haven't spoken about it publicly, but some of my friends know what happened. And basically what happened was, I was in the group. I paid him for access. Sorry. And after about 2 or 3 weeks inside the group, I opened my phone one day, went to Telegram, and noticed I was removed from all the groups, blocked by Hassan, blocked by the admin, blocked by basically a lot of people. And I wasn't messaged anything. I didn't know what's going on. So I messaged a few of my friends and a few of my close friends who were in the group, and I was saying, like, what's going on? What's happening? And they responded to me. They were telling me what's going on in the group. Hassan is saying, well, I think someone said that I was scamming people or something, and I don't know what was going on. None of them reached out to me. They just blocked me. I couldn't message them. And basically, I heard that Hassan was threatening that anyone that he catches speaking to me or following me or anything will also get kicked out of the group. That was an interesting time. And about a week later, I remember, I was taken down from Instagram. I was taken down from Twitter and taken down from Telegram. All around the same time. So I have my guesses of how that happened, but so Twitter came back earliest, then I submitted an appeal to Telegram, and Instagram also came back by itself. And that's how I got my accounts back. But I have my suspicions as how they got banned. But,
Well, you can't guess. I mean, I have no idea who would do that. It's kind of, to be fair to him, it is pretty smart how he does that. He just bans people and then basically shuts them up completely. Tells everyone to block them. And then that way, that person can't say anything. They can't say anything. They can't do anything. They can't expose anything, because now they have no accounts, no followers, none of their previous friends. it's very like cult like, and that kind of thing for me is just it's just disgusting. It's just like, look, if you have a problem with someone, talk to them about it, right? Like there's zero problem with that. If and do it openly, do it in public. If you have a problem with someone, cool, all right. Look, I have a problem with you because you did X, Y, and Z, and let's figure it out, right? But instead of that, he's like, nah, too scared just in case someone finds out some shit on me. So, all right, fine, we're just gonna go ahead and ban him. We'll just ban him. That's it, silence, and that's how it works. Very scumbaggy thing to do, but pretty smart because it works, and it works very effectively.
Speaking of dealing with problems directly and speaking to people that you have issues with, that's something that I see as high value, something a high value man should do. And I know on your Twitter and as well as some of the videos that you also post on Twitter, you talk about what it means to be a real man. And now in this age of toxic masculinity, where those buzzwords are being thrown out everywhere, what do you believe it means to be a real man?
Really, it's just honor above really anything else. Honor, action, loyalty, and support to the people that are giving you, again, all of those things. It's you can't be honorable or supportive of someone who's obviously not being honorable and supportive of you, right? And a lot of people now, they confuse what masculinity is with, work it out. Like, you have to go to the gym. Okay, yeah, sure. That doesn't make you a man, though. That just makes you a strong, healthy man. Okay, cool. So then what actually does it mean to be a man? Like, it can come down to so many things. And of course, everyone's always talking about like, and just looking for that next trick, right? Everyone's like, well, if I do this, if I'm a man, it just means that I'm going to get girls. It's like, no, like, you need to be the best version of yourself and the most loving, honorable, and open as you possibly can be. Not to get chicks, not to get shit tons of money. Like, sure, all of that comes with that, but you just need to be an intrinsically good person, right? Like, I was having this conversation with a very good friend of mine. It's worth, I think, coming on to like 50 million, something like that, insane amounts of money. We were talking the other day, and we were talking about why we actually like each other. And he was just like, you can look through my past and there's absolutely zero chance of anyone finding, for him, he was saying, of anyone finding anything on me because I've never done anything wrong to anyone. I said, that's interesting because that's exactly the same with me. Like, no one could ever come to me and say, okay, Michael's a scumbag piece of shit. Michael's hurt, gone and actively attacked me. He's, fucked up a business partner. He's destroyed this person, or anything which is just evil. There's none of it. I've paid everyone handsomely, etc., etc. And it comes down to just being a good, intrinsically good person. I think that's the biggest thing.
You mentioned on the point of intrinsically good person, you mentioned honor as the first word you mentioned. What do you define by honor?
So, honor is a very strange concept because too few people actually have it. So, to be honorable is to really just say something and sit by a word. Like, everyone knows if I say yes to something, then that thing's happening. If I say I'm going to do this, that thing is essentially as good as done. If I say no, that's it. No, it's not happening. Nothing anyone can say. But on top of that, it's more than just your word. It's also being honorable is being righteous, right? It's being righteous and doing the right thing. Because you can't have any honor if you're just running around and scamming people, right? So you need to be doing the right thing, and not just the right thing, like objectively. So obviously killing babies is wrong, right? Like we all know that, but it's also subjectively, right? This is where your own morals and your own character come in. Okay, would I push the bar a little bit with this friend of mine just to get like extra money, for example? Not a very honorable or loyal thing to do, but people will do that. People do that and they fuck people over. And doing the right thing, and in order for you to do the right thing, you need to have a set of morals. And this is where, for me, certainly, religion's huge in my life now. Born again Christian, but for me, I take my rights and wrongs from the Bible, and I also have my own set of rights and wrongs that are based on things that are said there, but also based on my own character that I built throughout the last 28 years of my life. So you need to have some set of moral values as a man, and that's going to then help you to then become honorable and do honorable things.
So first step in becoming an honorable man is having those set of values. What are the other steps towards having that honor?
Act on those unapologetically. Like, if I see wrongs, I don't care where it is, right? It could be, dog's just going crazy. If I see something wrong, it doesn't matter what that thing or where that thing is taking place, I will 9.9 times out of 10 stand up and have to say something, right? You have to do this calculated risk. Obviously, a lot of people would be like, well, I'm seeing a dude getting like jumped on by 12 guys. I don't know the dude. That dude I just heard was like shouting at these other guys and calling them all, whatever, X name, right? Am I going to jump in? Fuck no, right? Because then I'm getting the living shit beaten out of me as well. It's a calculated thing. And you also have to calculate based on the events and actions of other people. So that's a very important thing to do, but you need to stand up and act on your moral beliefs unapologetically, right? Like unapologetically. If you see someone is saying something that is completely wrong or false or just not true, then you call them out on it. You say, hey, bro, look, you're saying that's not true because of this, this, and this. Let's talk about it. Actually, yeah, do you know what? You're right. I was wrong. Okay, let's move forward. And then you just carry on, right? Because it's fine. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I make shit tons of mistakes. But that's how you grow. That's how you learn. But unless you're going to hold yourself and the people around you accountable of their own mistakes, then who's going to grow? It's just, then it becomes like an ecosphere of friends who are all just trying to be like, well, you're right. And then no one grows because it's like, well, if we're all right, then we don't have to change anything. If we're always right, and we're always perfect, and we're always the best version that we could be, then we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything difficult because, well, we're all fine already. Right? Whereas with me and my friends, for example, we message each other and we're like, hey, bro, did you go to the gym today? Cool. Hey, bro, you said that you were going to do that thing. How did that thing go last week? Right? And it's not like this constant, like, texting each other and blah, 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 but it's holding ourselves accountable for ourselves and also holding our friends and our brothers accountable as well. And that's a very, very, very big thing.
You mentioned values and core beliefs being super important. What are your values and core beliefs?
That's a very, very long conversation, a very deep conversation. I mean, my thing is do good, regardless. Do good regardless as to the outcome. Like the outcome doesn't matter. What matters is to do good and to help people, right? Help people, help animals as well. This is something I don't really see too many people talking about is, if you can do something to make the world a better place, just do it. Like, how difficult is it? For example, one thing that I do, if I'm walking in the park with my dog, for example, and I see like just someone's left a bottle of water, like an empty bottle of water next to a bin, right? Like, and I'm walking towards the bin anyway, Like how much effort does it take for me to just sit, like squat down, pick it up, put it in the bin? Like none. If I see, for example, where I live, there's a lot of stray cats, a ton of stray cats, and 3-4 times a week I'll go and I'll feed them. Just because why? Because no one else is going to fucking do it. So fine, I'll do it. Does that cost me some money? Yeah, a couple of euros, right? It's nothing. But does that mean that at least, cats are fine, whatever? Yes. And then it's just doing the right thing. Fine. Is it going to take some investment? Is it going to take some time? Yes. But do it, right? Like if no one else is going to do it, do it. Even if other people are going to do it, like some people would say, well, there's people that clean the roads, right? There's people that clean the roads. You've got the garbage men to do that. Okay, cool. Well, at least I'm helping their lives and making their lives even easier. So cool. Like it's still a good thing to do, right? So that's pretty much the center point of my moral standing is just do good and help others. Don't do things which are purposefully or indirectly going to harm others as well. It's like the yin and the yang to that.
What other core beliefs do you have?
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, pretty much everything just stems from that. That's the easiest, like, starting point. Everything else is just acting on that one core belief.
With a previous guest on this show, we entered a discussion on decision-making questions, where we were speaking about how Jeff Bezos is said to have one decision-making question that he uses to basically guide all his decisions. And that question is, will this improve the user experience? And Elon Musk is said to also have something similar will this get us closer to Mars? If you were to find or look for your decision-making question, what would that be?
So my first thing is this going to make my life and other people's lives better? And then the second one is this going to be a bad thing in 6 months? Is this going to be a bad thing in a year? Right? So from that, I can then pretty much decide everything. Like, is this going to make my life better and other people's? Yes. Cool. Is this going to be maybe a bad thing in 6 months? Yeah, that could blow up in your face. Okay, cool. Don't do that. Like, it's very simple. I think people overcomplicate their lives far too much. It's like KISS, KISS, keep it stupidly simple. And people just overcomplicate everything. It's just like, look, is it good? Yes. Okay, I have a really complicated decision that I need to make. Okay, just draw a table, put pros on one side and cons on the other, whichever one has more. Okay, cool. Now you can see everything on paper. Now just make the decisions, right? It's very, very simple, but everyone just wants to make things more difficult than they are now, because everyone's just like, well, I've got to deal with more difficult shit because me dealing with more difficult shit makes me more of a man. Does it? Like, not really. Like, you're overcomplicating things, and therefore you're stressing yourself out, but you're stressing yourself out for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You're stressing yourself out. You're prolonging making a decision. So that could be now that you're just sat there waiting and doing nothing, because you need to make decisions fast. You need to make decisions fast. You need to be able to pivot fast. And that's like, if you're able to do those two things, you're pretty much destined for success in your life. And by success, I mean like happiness, wealth, and fun, right? Because people stop themselves a lot of the time from having fun because they're too focused on the decisions that they have to make, and rather than just boom, cool, decision done. No, now it's like, oh, I have this really, really hard decision that I need to make, and because I have this really hard decision to make, I'm gonna just be focusing on how hard the decision is to make. No, just make the fucking decision, move on. Like it stops people. It stops people from living their lives far too much.
Why do you think that happens? Why do you think people prolong that decision making, keep worrying about things?
People like being sad, man. This is just a fact. People like to be sad now. People enjoy being depressed. Like being depressed now is a fucking like some kind of a tag that people put on. Oh, look at me, I got BPD. Look at me, I got fucking ADD. Look at me, I got depression. Oh, I'm taking pills for my depression. Oh, I'm so okay, cool. What are you gonna do about that? Oh, I'm just gonna take my pills and post online, and maybe I'll write a book about how strong I am because I'm depressed. The fuck? Like, no. It's like depression is an anxiety and being sad. People are happy with it. It's become fucking normalized. It's this now normal thing. It's so normal to be sad. Oh, it's normal. Cool. Do you know what we'll do? We'll wallow in our own depression and self misery so much that actually we're gonna find and blame someone else. Oh, it's the Matrix. Oh, it's my boss. Oh, it's the way I was brought up as a kid. Fuck you. Your life's shit because you're shit and you're happy with it. You've just accepted it, right? This is why people are like, right, well, I have this really hard decision to make, and my girlfriend, I know that my girlfriend's not the right one for me, but I'm just going to stay in the relationship because maybe if I change, then maybe I can change. It's all fucking nonsense. It's nonsense. Okay, cool. It's not right. Cool. Move on. Done. Finish. Move on. Like, people just want to be sad. People want to be depressed because that's their whole identity, right? That's who they are. They are an emotion. They're an emotion. Like a lot of guys that I know, they're like, well, I fight because I'm angry. Okay, why are you angry? Nah, don't want to talk about that, bro. Don't want to talk about me being angry. I just fight. All right, cool. It's like, whatever you want. Whatever you want. But people just want to be emotions instead of characters and people, right? Like, it's absolute, pure and utter in fucking sanity.
Do you think that comes from insecurity?
A lot of it's insecure, but I think it stems from people not wanting to go the harder route. People don't like to do hard things because they're hard, right? Which is why they're hard in the first place, because it's a test. It's a test from God, right? God has said to you, okay, well, look, you have to deserve this, right? Whatever that thing is, you have to deserve it. Are you going to go through the hard steps? Which, let's face it, bro, how hard is most things? Or going to the gym's really hard. You just fucking pick something up and put it down. Like, is that difficult? Oh, I need to fix up my diet. Okay, you control what your fucking hand picks up and puts in your mouth. So fix it, right? Like, then it's like, oh, I can't find a girl. Okay, how many people have you actually gone up to in the middle of the street and actually said hi to? No, none. Not doing that. I'm too uncomfortable and I'm too insecure to do that. Like, people's lives are a fucking mess. It's just this. It's like a Rubik's cube. But instead of them trying to be like, okay, I don't know how this works, but I'm actually I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna like move this over here, and I'm gonna just keep on trying new things. Maybe this goes this way, maybe it goes that way. Try new things in life and see what works. Yeah, it's hard. Yes, it's gonna take time. But if people want to make their lives better, they have to go through that process. And you can't do what the LGBTQ fucking robot cis man people do, which is, oh, okay, my life is sad. This is a Rubik's Cube. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to pretend that all of the colors are the same color now. I'm just going to pretend that my life is fine. Like, no, your life is shit. You hate your life. Do something about it. Change it. You can't project yourself onto reality. You just can't. And it's what most people do. Most people will sit there quite happily and say, well, bro, my life's so great. My life's so awesome. And then you're like, okay, well, it's not though, is it? Like when you actually sit down and you have that conversation with them, they're like, yeah, bro, man, I wish I was doing this. I wish. But it comes back to the same thing. Like they're not making the hard decisions that they need to make in order to get to where they want to be. And so because they don't want to do that for whatever reason that may be, now they just give up. They give up and they're like, well, my life's good even though it's shit. Well, I've got all of these dreams and aspirations and I want a better friend and I want this. But you know what? I'm just going to accept what I've got because it's there. It's there and it's easy. It's like trying to pick up the fruit from a tree. And instead of even trying to catch the lowest fruit on the tree, people are just like, well, fuck it, there's an apple on the floor. I don't even need to reach up. I can just go down. Okay, cool. The apple's rotten and has maggots in. But people still want to pick it up and eat it just because they need to have something, right? They need to eat something. They need some kind of nourishment in their life. So instead of actually going the hard route and being like, okay, cool, let me go to the top of the tree. Let me get the ripest one. Let me get the ripest ones, the healthiest ones, the ones that have got the most sunlight. Nah, you want the moldy fucking, the moldy apple with maggots in it. Cool. All right. Take it that easy. If that's what you want, then that's all you're going to get. But don't be surprised when you get fucking sick from it. But that's what people do. And then all of a sudden they start complaining when they're like mid-20s, late 30s. Like, oh shit, man. Like half of my life is gone. And I'm ill. I'm fat. It's just like, well, I'm ill and I'm fat. Why am I ill and fat? You keep on going and eating the fucking moldy apple with maggots in, and you're still doing it and expecting to be healthy. It's just ridiculous. But this is what people do.
It was a tweet you made, I think, yesterday about facing your inner demons, and that really hit me. I boil facing inner demons down to just one thing, and that's doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's doing the hard work. Doing the hard work. And a lot of people just think that doing the hard work is like actions, like things that you have to do, like going to the gym. Like most things are just tasks, right? Most things are tasks. What is a task? A task is something that will eventually make your life better if you do it. It will make your life marginally better if you do it. But you don't want to do it. That's what a task is. Now, people don't want to do the tasks. People don't want to put in the work. And by putting in the work isn't just like going through and fulfilling tasks. It's also sitting down with yourself and being honest with yourself and be like, bro, how the fuck am I? Like, am I okay? Am I actually okay? Because people's mental state of mind is so fucked up that they sit there and they question themselves so much and they lie to themselves so much just because of cognitive bias. And people want to prove that their life is okay to everyone else. This is why everyone's fucking lying on Instagram. Everyone's talking shit online. Because they want everyone else to be like, oh, your life is good. Your life is cool, bro. I want your life. I don't know why anyone wants to do that in the first place, because it's just like, bro, live your own life and have fun with it. Okay, cool. But no, people want to try and copy people. And then people live through people, right? People live through people online, which is why people follow people online. But you need to be able to sit down with yourself and look in the mirror and say, bro, am I actually okay? Well, like, what am I doing? Am I cool? Am I all right? If I die tomorrow, would I be happy with the life that I've just lived? Okay, no. What can I do to change that? If I die tomorrow, who's going to actually turn up at my fucking funeral? These are like hard questions that you actually need to ask yourself. But because look, at the end of the day, we're all going to die, right? We're all going to die. We're all going to have a funeral. Well, most people are going to have some kind of a funeral. Imagine having no one at your funeral. What kind of, like, that's the hard questions that you need to really ask yourself. Not, or why don't I have a fucking Lamborghini and I'm 21 years old? It's stupid questions. Like, it's simple reverse engineering as well. Okay, how many people would be at my funeral? Like 2 people. Fuck, man. That's sad. Cool. That's hard work. That's hard mental work that you need to do with yourself. And then you need to say, okay, I need to accept that. Let me accept that. And now that I've accepted that, now I can do something about it. Now I can actually change it. Okay, how could I influence so many people in a good, positive way? How can I make their lives better so that maybe one day they would want to come to my funeral? Right? Then you can start reverse engineering. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do this. And it comes down to what I was saying before, which is just doing the right fucking thing and being a righteous, good, honorable, loyal person. And if you can do those things, then great. There are more than enough people that will listen to you. But the question is are you a person, even now, worth listening to? Right? So many people that are talk. What fucking results have you got in your life for anyone to listen to you in the fucking first place? You haven't done anything. Right? And then people always do this other thing on topic, which is everyone's looking for support, right? Everyone's like, man, so depressing, bro. I just started this business. My mom and my dad, no one's supporting me. Well, of course they're not going to fucking support you, because all that you've been doing for the whole of your life is just talk, and then doing nothing. Doing nothing about it. It's just like, hey guys, big things happening. Big things in the work. What big things? Like, people do a lot of talking, but they do a lot of fucking nothing. So people just need to actually start doing what they say, which again goes back to my previous point.
Was there ever a time in your life that you looked yourself in the mirror and asked yourself those hard questions?
Oh yeah, I do it pretty much. I was going to say every day. That would be a gross over exaggeration. I do it probably 2-3 times a week. Sit down on my bro, how am I doing? Because and sometimes you're like, shit, man. You know what? I'm having a terrible time. And then you have to look and examine it, right? You have to look and examine it. Am I actually having a terrible time? No, I just have a problem that I need to solve, which is going to take me some time, and it's going to be difficult. Okay, cool. Let me deal with it. Can I deal with it? No. Okay, fine. Then I don't need to worry about it in the first place. It's simple. You deal with what you can. You deal with what you're capable of dealing with, and then that's it. It's simple. If you can do something about it, do something about it. If you can't, then what's the fucking point in worrying, man? Like, oh, this person did this. Cool. They did that. You didn't do that. It's a very hard thing to develop, and it's taken me over a decade of doing it. You know, like when I was a kid, I was abused as a kid. I was left suicidal from that. And I had to look at myself and genuinely say, okay, cool. There's 2 routes here. I don't know where the hard work and putting in the actual time and energy and effort, I don't know where that's going to lead me. I do know because I can see the clearer route, which is more drugs, more fucking cocaine, random crimes, just stealing because of ceilings, just for like a dopamine hit, just all of it. And I'm like, well, I can see where that goes. That goes like death or jail. Yeah, I don't want that. Cool. Right. I need to stop taking cocaine then. Cool. Stop taking cocaine. Everyone, again, I think I was like, how old was I? 15, 16 when I stopped doing cocaine. And so many people ask me, they're like, how did you stop? How did you stop, man? Stop. Like, stop. What? Do you mean like you stopped? You had some help? You went to a therapist? No, I just stopped. I get for a lot of people, like those really difficult things, most people need help and support because it's a dark rabbit hole. But for me, I just stop. I'm like, okay, cool, done, finished. And that was that. But a lot of people need to just do it, right? Like everyone's just like, well, man, I keep on saying that I'm going to go to the gym. I keep on saying that I'm going to do this thing. I keep on saying that I'm going to call my mom today. I keep on saying this. I keep on saying, well, look, stop, keep on saying it. Get out your fucking phone and call her. Stop saying that you're going to go to the gym. Just put on your fucking gym shit and go to the gym. Oh, I keep on saying I'm going to quit my job. Why haven't you quit then? Stop talking. People need to stop talking and start acting. That's the big thing.
How did your childhood affect your present life and the way you think and the way you operate now?
It hasn't. Really. Like, it doesn't affect my present life in any which way, shape, or form. Just doesn't. Sure, I am a lot kinder, especially to children, man. I just have my girlfriend's 2 little sisters here. And whenever they do come, I make sure that, of course, they're super well looked after. They got whatever food they want, stupid shit. And yesterday I bought some flowers for my girlfriend. And I thought, do you know what? That's going to be setting a very good example for them. But then I thought, do you know what? Let me set an even better example and let me buy them 2 bouquets of flowers as well, each. So I did, and they were super happy and chuffed. And now they're going to go away and think, okay, or hopefully think, okay, I would love someone in my life, someone who's this nice as Michael is to, what's her name? But to my sister. I want someone like that. But other than that, it hasn't changed and definitely doesn't affect me now, other than just being generally kinder, I think. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
And again, back to this masculinity, toxic masculinity thing. What do you believe to be the right dynamic on a relationship between a man and his woman?
It's a very nuanced question. It really depends on the man and the woman, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's 2 people's relationships. Like, my dynamic that I have with my girlfriend now, I can do that because I'm at a certain level in life, right? Like, I earn enough so that she doesn't have to work. She hasn't worked in a very long time anyway. She hasn't worked. So she doesn't need to work. She doesn't need to worry about the bills, paying for the bills. I don't think she's even paid for, like, really anything, to be honest. But that's the dynamic that I have now, because number 1, I can afford it. And number 2 is because I want it like that. I don't want her to pay for me, right? Which is another thing that I just can't fathom, which is like this whole OnlyFans fucking put your girl on OnlyFans. What kind of fucked up shit is that? Like, it's number 1. So that's your girlfriend and you want to sell her body and pictures online. That's weird. Secondly, she's technically the one making money. Therefore, you are her bitch. Is that like, okay, cool. So then you want to start flexing and showing off your money that she's made for you. Like, it's weird. You see that dynamic? Super weird. But so a normal guy, I think the right dynamic is you're going to have to be paying for fully 80% of everything. You should be paying for at least 80% of everything. You certainly should. Obviously, the biggest thing as well before I can hear everyone just say, Michael's a sin. All right, bro. I had 5 girlfriends this time last year. Like, I know very much what I'm talking about. And when it comes down to normal people, like, you need to qualify. Just as with sales is just simple qualification. Okay, is this the right thing for you? Are you a good fit for us? Are we a good fit for you? Yes, cool. Move forward. It's exactly the same thing in relationships. So you need to qualify. And I don't think there's anything more important in, especially early on in a relationship, than qualification of the person that you're going to be with. Especially if you want a monogamous relationship, and especially if you're looking to fucking marry someone, bro. You're talking about potential divorces. you're talking about potential kids, you're talking about all of these things. And people are just like, well, I have this one girl, and I'm just going to give her all of my attention and pay for everything. Why? Because she's the only girl that's paying me attention. No, that's stupid. It's fucking stupid, right? But the dynamic, once she has shown that she's down for you, and now you can say, okay, cool. Now I have to show her that I'm also down for her. And you do that with your actions, with your time, with what you're building, right? But you need to be building, as a man, I think, a very powerful mindset to have is whatever you're doing, you're building for that future family that you're going to have, right? Whether that is a business, whether that's a new career, whether that's a new skill, whatever it might be, right? But you're building and you're doing that thing for your future family, for them, right? It's all for you. Because then it becomes like, rather than it being super selfish, which is something which I think most of us men, we have a hard time with, then it's like, oh, okay, oh, I can push through. I can push through this because it's for future them. Cool. All right. I can save more money because that means that maybe I can take my kids to fucking Disneyland, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that, but for me, that's a very good motivation. But to go back to the dynamic, traditional values work best, but you need to qualify the woman thoroughly, very, 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 very thoroughly. And then from there, once you've qualified, then absolutely, traditional values 100% of the way. It's the best way.
What does that qualification process look like, guys?
Bro, I have, I've written them down, actually. I'm thinking about releasing it sometime soon, but I've got like a roughly put together list of, I think it's about 100 and something things that I've done to qualify all of the girls that I've been with in my adult life. And it's great because, like, for example, you need to see how is she around children? That's a very big question. How is she around children? Okay, is she fun, playful, right? Is she trying to look after them? Is she being like a good mother? Is she acting how a good mother would? Or does she kind of like cringe at it? Is she not that, what's the word? Loving? Is she looking at children and be like, oh, it's so cute? Okay, cool. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Or is she looking at kids and is she like, oh, fucking kids? It's like, okay, right. No, that's not someone that I want to be with long term. So cool. You can be with me for however long you want. And obviously make sure that you tell them, look, I'm not serious until you're serious. Like, it's just how it is. How it is. I'm not going to be serious until you show me that you're serious. That's it. And why should you fucking be? Why should they be? Right? Why should anyone be serious? Because everyone's running around, no one's taking anything seriously, so why should you? Okay, cool. This, and this. Okay, cool. They're sending me messages. Okay, great. That's a good sign, right? That's a good gauge of interest. Am I sending her messages all the time just to get her to respond back to me? That makes you a sim. That's a bad thing. That's a bad sign. It's a very low probability prospect. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. You get like 80 revolutions around a burning ball of fucking plasma. Why are you wasting your time with people that don't even want your time, right? If they want your time, they're going to show you. If they don't want your time, cool. Move on. There's enough people on the fucking planet. This is where the abundance mindset thing comes from. It's not even an abundant mindset. It's just factual. There's fucking 5 billion women on the planet. You're going to find one that fits every single criteria that you're looking for if you've built yourself up to that fucking level, right? Too many guys are like, oh yeah, bro, I'm a high value man. Look at me. Okay. Of what metric? Well, I'm starting a business. Okay, that's great. That doesn't make you a high value man, though. That just means that you're starting a business. How much money has this business made? Well, I'm just starting it now. Shut the fuck up. Get to work. You have nothing to talk about, right? It's all talk, 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 talk. Action show. Action show. Women like to do the talk and the talking. Leave that to them. You need to act. The talking's for the women, right? Women love when you do things with them, experiences with them. How does she act? What is she talking about? Right? There's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of things. But it comes down to, like, look, is she the kind of woman that you want in your life? Fine. Okay, maybe you're not looking to get married. Okay, cool. Is she still the kind of woman that you want in your life? Yes or no? No. Then why the fuck are you wasting time? Why? Just because she's there for me, bro. Oh, we have some great sex. It's just fucking pathetic, man. Like, oh, so what, man? Like, people just don't value themselves enough anymore. This is the problem with the whole dating space. People don't value themselves anymore. They don't value themselves because they believe that they have nothing to give. Like, this whole high value man thing doesn't really matter. Yes, sure. You're going to have to date within your dating pool, right? And that's fine. But you can't pretend that you're something that you're not. It's like you're not going to go and get fucking Paris Hilton's number tomorrow. If you're just some random dude who's like still working in McDonald's, it's just not going to happen. Does that mean that you can't find a good, loving woman in a relationship? Of course it fucking doesn't, right? You don't deserve love because you're earning money. Like, this is it's the craziest fucking thing. This is the problem with the red pill. Is everyone's like, well, you need to have 6 figures. No, you fucking don't. I know enough happy couples, married. I know enough old couples that are married, 60s, 70s. They've never earned more, like even combined, never earned more than 100 together. And they're fucking happy. Oh, but yeah, it's easier. Of course it's easier. But that's like making dating just about money is just ridiculous. It's about 2 people. It's 2 people. If that person wants to be with you and wants to help you build for the future, great. Let her in. Give me. I need someone on my team. I need someone on my team. Because you can't fucking do everything alone. Like, bro, I can't clean all of my house. Okay. So does that mean that you need a woman to come into your life to clean your house? No. You can pay a fucking cleaner, right? And a cleaner is not going to complain and moan and get really upset with you when she's on her fucking period, right? Like, pay her, she's gone. So that's not a metric for men to look at, right? It's not a metric for what defines a good woman. There's so many other things. Like, can she cook? Cool. Guess what? So can the chef in the fucking restaurant, right? Like, you could just order out. Women have been belittled to these mediocre tasks. That's not what women are there for. Women are there for spiritual enlightenment. And I swear, any man who's got a genuinely loving, happy woman, we know how much that fills us up, right? There's something about, for us men, there's something about a woman being happy and being that way because of things that you've done. And people are talking about, oh yeah, happy wife, happy life. No, it's you have a happy life, then she's going to come in and be a happy wife. If your life's a complete fucking mess and chaotic and you've got this thing going on over here, you're just running around doing random shit, of course she's going to come in and she's going to cause even more problems because women are amplifiers. They amplify chaos very, very dramatically. If there's any chaos in your life and you're showing that, they'll amplify that. And they do it they just do it. It's subconscious to them. They don't know that they do. They don't even mean to do it. They just do it. And we have to be straight, stoic, cool. What we got to do today, we got to do this, cool. Let me get it done. That's it. And again, you say, oh, I'm going to do this today, and let it be known. It's then done, right? That's pretty much the way to push it, I think, and the whole dynamic.
A friend of mine on a podcast was saying that marriage to him is like a business that's goal is to have the best in this life and the hereafter. And so you have to think of your wife as kind of, in this sense, a business partner, and who is the most likely business partner to move your business towards that goal.
Yeah. So we have got very, 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 very involved in our relationship, which is great. But it's like this. So imagine a triangle. In fact, fuck it, I'll draw it. So it's like this. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it or not. So you've got God at the top anyway. God at the top, you've got you and you've got her. Now, you're connected to her. She's connected to God. You're connected to God. Right? So it's a triangle. We all know what triangles are. That's great. Now, the closer that you get to God and the further away she is, like if you're getting closer to God and she isn't, she's not going to be on the same level as you. The whole point is that you're both working together to push that up. Just the same. If she's moving up and you're not, then she's going to be over here and you're going to be over here. That's not equal. It should always be, as much as possible, an equilateral triangle. It should be. But that's the kind of dynamic kind of ratio that I've got with her, is we both work together and individualistically to get closer to God, and we help each other do that. Well, I say I help her do that. She always comes to me, asking me questions about the Bible, blah, 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 and the Quran as well, because she likes studying it just as much as I do. But that's the whole point, is you're both together, working together for the same cause, right? As a team. So business contracts, I used that analogy as well, because when you get into any kind of formal business relationship, you're going to have some kind of a contract, right? Now, this should be considered as you're dating, not after you've married, right? Consider it like this beforehand. So the way to consider it is, and she should know from the very start, okay, cool. This is what I accept in a relationship. This is a no-go, right? This is a no-go. This is the problem with so many guys. They're like, well, she has an open Instagram account. Okay, so that's already not what you want. She has an open Instagram account. She's got like 10K followers. Okay, fine. Don't expect her to change that. She's already showing you from the start, just as you're showing her from the start, okay, this is me. Right? Don't expect her to change. You can't. Oh, but the Red Pill guy said that she should have like no Instagram followers. Well, she's got 10K, bro. So why are you fucking with her anyway then? Well, because I can change her. Good luck. Good luck. No. But then you have other things like, okay, I absolutely never, ever, 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 ever under any condition would accept my girlfriend going to a club, ever. Don't care, whatever, no. Guess what? If she ever goes to a club, that's it, I'm done. Walk it out, straight, cool. Contract broken, fine, we leave. Now, what people do, and what most men do, is they get fucking walked on. Time and time again, just walked over. Okay, well, I said this. She's done that. I said that thing is completely unacceptable. She's just fucking done it, and you're still hanging around. Well, it was just once. Okay, cool. Now guess what? Now she's just gonna push the bar. It's the people can do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's comes down to a question about what are you going to accept them doing whilst they're with you, and what aren't you? It's cool. So what? She goes to a club. Cool. That's what she wants to do. It doesn't fucking matter. She's not the right one. She wants to go on holiday with the girls. Cool. Or she's done it. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that you are not the right person for me now rather than later. Right? Because too many men, they're like, well, maybe she can change. Or maybe it was just once. All right, bro. You know that clown face meme? Just like where he's putting on the clown shit? It's like, okay, bro, that's you. That's you. If that's what you accept, you've just shown that you accept that. Okay, cool. Fine. Now she knows that you're going to accept it. Doesn't matter how many times she does it. That's what she can see because that's what you have done. Right? But then there's the other side. If you do something wrong, guess what? That's on you as well. You need to take the responsibility on yourself because a business contract is between two parties or multiple parties if you're polyamorous, which is also fucking weird, but whatever. But it's between two people. And that contract has to be abided by those two people, or the other party can go and say, well, fuck you, because you did that to me. And that wasn't part of our contract. So, okay, goodbye. And again, same thing. If you fuck up, it's your responsibility. If they fuck up, cool. You don't have to be sad or depressed or angry. Sure, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a little bit, but that's fine. That's fine. They have shown you and be grateful for them. Thank fuck that you've shown me now. Instead of, with 5, 10, 15 years, I would have wasted all that fucking time with this bitch. Thank God, man. Thank God. Cool. She's showing me that. Cool. Now, again, 5 billion of them, bro. Cool. Go find one. Go find another one. It's fucking... Don't... As a man, you cannot get caught up, especially in bad relationships. Any bad relationships. Friends, business, or romantic. You can't, because that will just permeate your entire existence. And the worst one is the one that you care most about, which is obviously going to be romantic. So find good relationships with loving women.
How do bad relationships destroy people, both romantically and friend-wise, business-wise?
It just, because it's people that you rely on, right? Like, imagine your life. Now, your life, consider it like a table, right? So you have a table has like all of these legs, right? All of these legs. If you remove one of those legs, then all of a sudden the table comes crashing down. Everything that's on the table is, broken, right? So the legs are the people and things that you're relying on, right? Because the table relies on the legs. So instead of relying on just these 4 legs, what do you need? You need to be able to 100% rely on yourself and hold yourself up. How can you do that? Accountability, self-accountability. That's it. That's it. Self-accountability. Something goes wrong, fix it. Can't fix it, move on. So what you need in this analogy is going to be this fucking golden marble pillar, which is bigger and taller than all of the other legs, right? You need to be able to trust in yourself that much. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter, one leg goes. Best friend is just fucking, just fucked you up. Relationships just ended. You got all of these legs disappearing. Guess what? You're still with you. You're still with you. And ideally, you want to incorporate God into that because he's fucking with you all of the time. He is with you all of the time. So you want to include him? Now you've got 2 marble pillars. that you can rely on every day, every night. It's there whenever you need it. You've got yourself and you have God. Cool. You're fine, bro. It's like, you're good. Now, everything else from that point onwards, everything else now just becomes an add-on, right? It's an add-on. It's a bonus. It's a good thing. But it's just an addition. Great. I am so happy and grateful that I have all of these additional things in my life. Awesome. But guess what? If all of it goes tomorrow, I got me. I got God. Cool. I'm fine. That's the major thing. If all else fucking fails, got that. And you know what? With those two things, more than I need to rebuild, more than I need to do whatever is possible. Because I got me and I got God. Cool. What?
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest, as well as the audience, ask a question to the next guest without knowing who that next guest will be. So a question for you from last guest. Given every aspect of your life, if you only got to hold on to one trait that you have, what would that be?
That's a very good question. So, what one trait? Persistence. Yeah, that would be the main thing. Because if I don't have persistence, I was considering saying love, but I'd have to be more persistent. Love's not quite enough. But yeah, persistence.
Because I also feel if you're persistent, you can build out the other traits over time.
Persistence, because if you're not persistent, you're just gonna give up. You're gonna give up, and it's easy to give up. It's so easy to give up, right? But with persistence, everything else is easy because you just don't give up. You just go, and that's it. That's all that you do. Just persist, continue on, regardless. It doesn't matter. Legs dropping off. Maybe the whole fucking table's coming down on your head, bro. I'll carry on. I'll just carry on. Like, doesn't matter. Persistence, for sure.
I remember a tweet of mine that I posted, I think on Saturday or Sunday, and I was talking about how much has changed within 1 year and all the lessons that I've learned within that 1 year. And one of them was on persistence and just how much that changed. Because when, like 9 months ago, when the table came crashing down, friendships, best friends gone, relationships gone, everything, and I felt like this is just me. Just having that persistence and continuing and trusting in God.
It's a very wise thing to do, to have a conversation with God and say, and ask you. So, God, please get rid of everything that is not from you. Clean house. I honestly, guys, I have goosebumps because I've done this a few times. I've lost so much afterwards. But then straight afterwards, now everything can be given from him, right? It's not from him. It's the reality that I've created, right? I don't know better than God. I'm a dumbass in comparison. Like, I'm just some weird little speck in infiniteness. I don't know, right? I don't know. So maybe the life that I've been building is wrong. And then people often ask me, okay, bro, how can I find the woman that God wants for me? I'm like, you need to live a godly life. If you don't live a godly life, then God can't lead you. God can't lead you if you're there living an ungodly life and doing ungodly things, right? So you need to allow him to guide you. And in order for him to guide you, you need to be listening to him. And if you're listening to him, then you can start building from that. But otherwise, you're doing it all instead of him. And trust me, that submission is it's not an easy thing to do. But once you realize that you have no idea, and once you realize the blessings that God has for you and how much he loves you, it's worth it all, man. It's worth it all. You just got to give up. It's like giving up a used car. Giving up a used car and then you get a Ferrari in return. Sounds like a good deal. But you have to give up the fucking used up, broken down car that you keep on using. You have to just give it up. You have to. You don't want it anyway. You hate your life anyway. What's the worst that could happen? So long as you have the literal creator of the universe supporting you. You're like, well, I'm worried. Don't worry. It says it right there in the Bible. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. Work. Listen, communicate, and love. It's so important.
Question from the audience: what's a daily habit that you recommend?
Prayer. That's an easy one. Prayer. Aside from prayer, get out on a walk, half an hour, like just half an hour. Just get out. Get out of your fucking house. It doesn't have to even be a walk. You can just go to a park, sit in a park, but just get out of your fucking house. Get into some kind of nature, whether it's a park, whether it's a beach, whether it's a mountain. It doesn't matter. Just get out. Get out of your house, because the energy that you have in your house is very, very important. So a lot of the times, especially when you're super, super stressed, your house is just going to keep all of that stress in, and it's going to multiply that on you. So you need to just get out, think, pray about it. And then you just come back new, come back fresh. Doesn't matter. Just come back.
One thing that I do every day is I take these daily walks similar to what you're saying, and I take time to kind of internally reflect on my values, my beliefs, my principles, and why they're there and whether they are still serving me in my life.
Yeah, that's a very wise thing to do. Very wise thing to do, brother. You have to ask, is it serving you? And obviously, as a Christian, is it serving me, and is it serving God now? Is what I ask. But yeah, it's a very, very good thing to do. That internalization and checking yourself. Is it good? And on top of that, it's great for you, man. You just get out, get some vitamin D, fresh air, and get into the world, because all of this shit online is just online. It's like most of it's not even real, right? Just look at Hassan. Hassan's not real. He's not there. He doesn't exist. He's AI.
Michael, it's been great speaking with you. I really enjoyed this conversation. I appreciate you taking your time. I appreciate the insights. I had a great time on this conversation, learned a lot, and hopefully the people watching also learned a lot. Where can those people watching find you?
You can find me absolutely anywhere: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble. It's all just the same. It's just my name, Michael J. Ringer. Just type it in. You'll find me. You'll find me if you want to.
Thank you so much, brother.
More than welcome, brother. Appreciate you having me on, and no doubt we'll speak very, very soon.
Cheers.